Welcome back, everyone, to the final week of Apoctober 2021. As always, this month's drawing challenge has been a ton of fun, and as always, it blew by real fast. New here? Well, be sure to check out the last 3 weeks of Apoctober videos so that you're good and caught up. There's been a heck of a lot of content this month, and it's just about over. This video will end on day 28, and I know that there are 3 days left on this prompt list, but I'm going to be ending it here for my challenge. The story is left off at a place where I'm happy with it, and I'm ready to move on from this project for now and start working on some new stuff in the coming months. Claire and I have plans to take the Apoctober story to a more finished place. Right now we're imagining a point-and-click mystery adventure game. In a more short-term sense, Claire is working on an art book for you guys to purchase and enjoy that showcases much of the Apoctober world and the steps that we took to get it to where it is today. That will be available soon, and we'll be sure to let you know. Now, we have 6 more Apoctober illustrations, 6 more lore entries, and 1 new Pokemon to look at for this month. Thank you all for your love and support with these videos. I know they're not the most popular thing on the channel, but they sure are fun to make. Without any further ado, enjoy the last full week of Apoctober. I'm finally back on my feet. Bonnie did an alright job filling in for me while I was out of commission. I guess I really upset them when I went to talk to the Hunter's Hope. I can understand that they think that they might be in danger, but we need all the help we can get right now. A coalition of mortal madness, 3 mortal races fighting together against a rising threat. How could we pass that up? While I was in La La Land, the influence of the Enigmorphs on Earth has grown. So much so that other Enigmorph hunters from the far corners of the universe have come to aid me, the bearer of the human amulet, in capturing them all. The Xenomen, from a distant star, an ancient race of mortal beings so advanced that they can change their physical form as they see fit to combat the only threat their kind has ever known. And the Marinen, our twin sentient race here on Earth, who knew about the Enigmorphs long before humans had discovered fire. The Marinen aren't so eager to help, though. Centuries of human neglect of their ocean home has made them bitter. More specifically, they have beef with old Don Carcharodon. I guess he has some tentative alliance with the Enigmorph known as the Crown of Thorns. She's able to corrupt mortal life and imbue it with the strength of the sea, and the Don has been using her to add a little extra muscle to his already intimidating posse. The good news is, we found Carcharodon's weak spot. If we recapture the Crown of Thorns, he'll shrivel up like the 90-year-old man he really is. Too bad I pissed off that mirror lady. Some of these Enigmorphs are simply too dangerous for me to handle alone. I'm not trying to shirk responsibility, but can I really be expected to confront a stone woman standing 7 feet tall and wielding 2 chain blades by myself? I enlisted the help of the Hunter's Hope Club, to Bonnie's dismay, in order to capture this newest Enigmorph. Turns out that what we were actually looking for was just the head, not the entire giant woman. The Enigmorph took the form of some carved stone mask, and has the ability to coerce mortals into wearing it. Once the mask is removed, the Enigmorph becomes almost completely harmless. That was the most we could do. We don't know what its mortal weakness is, and it was too dangerous to be left on the host's body. This poor woman was from Mexico. It was the first time we encountered an Enigmorph that wasn't already here in Rhode Island. I guess the mask compelled her to take the 2,600-mile journey on foot to come here. And once again, we have ourselves another instance of an Enigmorph traveling to this exact location to look for something. What or why, we still don't know. The mask is being held by the Hunter's Hope, and the host, Aurelia, is back to her normal self, and she's staying with us until she can fully recover. Though sometimes I find it difficult to differentiate between dreams and reality, I worry that in the end, the two might not be all that dissimilar after all. I see them constantly, enormous, unblinking, scraping their man-sized fingertips across the cobblestone streets of my city. The glowing orbs set deep in what I can only describe as their heads, scour the earth below them with a tempered impatience. The cloud of heavy fog that hangs around them. Is it real? Or is it an obscurity of my mind's eye? What do they want? What are they looking for? Are they already here? Or have they yet to come? Should I tell the hunters? Should I tell Bonnie? Sometimes I feel as if I'm surrounded by madness, and I'm still the most insane. There's value in having an enigmorph on your side. It's been hard convincing the hunters' hope that not all enigmorphs must be captured. They don't yet see in them what I do. For example, the hunters had been collecting strange relics for nearly a year, all marked with a unique symbol they couldn't identify. Gems, precious metals, ancient idols, and other rarities of significant monetary value. They were convinced that there was some connection between them and the enigmorphs, maybe keys to unlock some greater mystery. In actuality, the pieces were part of an enormous hoard of missing valuables that had been amassed by a very greedy enigmorph back before Dor had first captured it. The subject in question had a mortal vice of materialism and coveted precious human artifacts. It wasn't until Bonnie pointed out that continuing to store the treasures in a single, secure location was only strengthening the enigmorph that we realized we had to start destroying them. I don't think the hunters' hope was too happy about it. A part of me felt like they had hoped to keep the gold for themselves. But obliterating every last jewel and ring revealed the enigmorph at last. A fragile ball of feathers with nowhere left to hide. I know Bonnie has at least one mortal vice, whatever it may be, but their lack of every other one makes it much more easy for us to get to the bottom of these mysteries that otherwise are obscured by our own subconscious human desires. While they were vaporizing the hoard of treasures amassed by the materialism enigmorph, Bonnie came across something that they decided to keep. Unlike the other precious trinkets in the collection, this one was unmarked by the enigmorph. It was small, no longer than one of my fingers, and Bonnie kept it because they were sure it looked like me. The most striking resemblance is what appears to be the right hand of the figure, which is the only part inlaid in gold. Coincidentally, my right hand is the only part of my body that isn't truly my own. I'm not sure if I believe it. Why would the Hunter's Hope Club have a tiny stone carving of me? Is it ancient, or did someone among their ranks carve it themselves? I feel out of breath when I hold it, and cold when I let it go. Should I give it back? Do I dare ask them what it means, dare tell them that we stole it? Surely they mean me no harm by it. It's probably nothing more than a strange coincidence. And yet, something about this whole situation. I'm compelled to keep it a secret. A year has passed since I first opened the amulet. So much has changed in that time, and yet I find myself as lost and confused as when this all began. What lies within Dor Manor? What significance does my amulet hold? These qualms seem so trivial now. That's the thing about searching for answers. It tends to lead you to more questions. My one clear path, the only constant in my now unpredictable life, is to seek out the enigmorphs. I've adhered to this quest not out of nobility or some sense of duty, but because I believe the routine keeps me sane. Between Don Carcharodon and his growing legion of fishmen, Captains Finch and Mira and their quest for the Crown of Thorns, the Hunter's Hope Club, and my sometimes unstable relationship with Bonnie, I'm as exhausted as I am driven. It's worth noting here that the Hunter's Hope gave me a gift. Their efforts to keep me agreeable aren't without suspicion, but I gotta say, this thing is pretty cool. An ancient weapon collaboratively designed by humans, Marinen, and Xenomen that channels the energy of my captured enigmorphs to actually weaken other enigmorphs. I can see why others might covet this amulet. Inlaid in this weapon, it becomes something far more powerful, and if it were to fall into the wrong hands, or perhaps was made by the wrong hands, I will keep my wits about me and value them while they are still my own. The world around me is really not so different. I just see more of it now than I did before.
And that ends the story of Apoctober, so far. Celeste's adventures are only just beginning, and there's so much more of this world that I want you all to see and enjoy. Like I said, we have plans to turn this whole story into something bigger than a YouTube playlist, so keep an eye out for future updates. Now we're going to take a look at the final Pokemon that I designed for Apoctober this year. Day 28's prompt was a Psychic type, and this was the only Pokemon design I did this month that I actually had a strong concept for beforehand. In fact, some longtime Subjectively fans might actually already be familiar with this design from way back in the day. The original concept for this Pokemon was actually thought up by Jane. You guys remember Jane, right? Back when Subjectively was 5 people, we made a video in anticipation of the upcoming Generation 8 Pokemon games. We all brainstormed some ideas for new Pokemon that we thought might fit into the new region, ranging from sword-fighting unicorns to a bell tower owl, and one design that I was a particular fan of. Jane thought it would be a cute idea to meld the concepts of Corvids, or the Crow family, with their penchant for stealing shiny objects and a sort of mystical fortune teller. While Jane herself didn't do any sketches of the concept, I drew up a 3-stage line based off of her idea. I really liked the designs I came up with, and yeah, they were a little rough, but I wanted to preserve them and share them with the newer Subjectively fans. So I dusted off Little Croman, and now I'm bringing its whole line into the Maza region. For now, I've just designed the first form, but there will be a second and third evolution as well, so keep an eye out for them in future videos. And be sure to leave Jane a thank you in the comments for this awesome idea. Croman, the Corvid Pokemon. Croman have a strong affinity for shiny objects. Unattended valuables will be quickly snatched up if the Pokemon is in the area. The trouble that Croman often find themselves in is due to their inability to leave their treasures unattended. They grow attached to one particular piece and carry it with them wherever they go. Trainers will find it difficult to coax their Croman into relinquishing it, even to eat. That's it for Apoctober 2021, guys. It's been quite a busy month, and I thank you all for joining along with me. Tomorrow we'll be featuring work from your Apoctober drawing challenges, and we can't wait to share the amazing stuff that you've been doing all month. Enjoy your Halloween, everyone. We'll see you all in the next video.